So it's 2023 and you're thinking about starting your home recording studio, but you only have $2,000. Well, if that's you, I'm going to show you exactly how to get a full setup and not having to worry about your gear anytime soon. What's up guys, it's Eli and welcome back to the channel for another video. Whether you want it to be a music producer or an audio engineer, in today's video I'm going to show you exactly what gear you need to get in order to have a full recording studio setup without having to upgrade your gear anytime soon. Being that it's 2023, I'm going to assume that everyone already has a computer. Especially if you have a computer from Apple in the last couple of years, you are golden. There is no need to be looking at getting a new computer. So with that said, I am not going to include a budget for a computer. And honestly, $2,000 would not be able to get you a decent computers and all the gear that you're going to need to have a full studio setup. All right, so let's get right into it. All right, so the first thing we're going to be looking at today is the DAW. And at this stage, I would not recommend that you spend any money on getting a DAW. There's so many free versions out there. There's some even full featured DAWs out there that are completely free. So there is no need to be jumping in and spending some money into getting a DAW right now. At the very least, I'd recommend starting with a free version of the DAW that you're probably looking at. And if you like it, down the road, make the investment and get the full version. But for now, I'd say start with the free version, learn it, and you may change your mind later on. You don't know. You might want to think about learning more than one, especially if you plan to work on any professional studios. Pro Tools is the industry standard at the moment. At the very least, I'd say to learn that one. Other than that, there is no right or wrong answers when it comes to choosing the DAW that you want to work with, right? It's your personal choice. Whatever you learn, that's what's going to be the best DAW for you. Before we move on, if you're finding any type of value in this video, make sure to drop a like and comment down below to show support to the channel. And if you're new, don't forget to hit on the subscribe button and turn on the notification for more videos like this. And make sure to stay till the end of the video to learn how you can help support the channel. Now we are at the point of the video where we have to start spending some money. And the first thing we're going to be talking about today is the audio interface. There's so many options out there when it comes to an audio interface, and anything that was done in the past 10 years or so is going to give you good results. So don't be picky about choosing audio interface. But since I have to make some recommendations, I'm going to stick with the ones that I know. Starting with the first one is going to be the Audio Box USB 96 by PreSonus. This is the interface that got the studio started back in 2013. I had the first iteration of it and I ended up giving it away. And later on, I got the second iteration, which I have right here. Some pros for this interface. It's got MIDI in and out. Not a feature that I ever used, but it is nice to have just in case you ever need it. Another one is it has a mix knob in the front where you can monitor the input directly before it hits your DAW, or you can monitor the playback coming from your DAW. And the last pro for this interface is that it comes with Studio One Artist, which by the way, it's a paid version, but having this interface gives you free access to Studio One Artist. And now for the cons. The build quality, it's not great, but it's not the worst I've seen. And the headphone jack is in the back. For a desktop interface, having the headphone jack in the back is a big no-no. All right, so yeah. And also, it doesn't have any special features or anything like that. It just have direct input, and that's pretty much it. It has combo jacks, just like the other interfaces that I'm going to recommend, but there's nothing special about this preamps. And the next interface we're going to talk about is the Scarlett 2i2. It is definitely an upgrade from the Audio Box 96. At the moment, it's going to run you $149.99. Not too bad. It's not a pro, but it's definitely not a con either. I don't think I have any pros and cons for this interface. It sounds great and it does the job, and the build quality is solid. It does not have MIDI in and out like the Audio Box 96, but again, it's not a feature that I ever used, so irrelevant in this case. It does the job and it sounds great, so highly recommended. And much like the Audio Box 96, it also comes with a few free DAWs as well. And that would be Pro Tools and Ableton Live Lite. And by the way, the Audio Box 96 also comes with Ableton Lite as well. And moving on to the last interface, it's going to be the Vault 4 by Universal Audio. Now, right out of the gate, my number one con for this interface is that it does not come with Luna, which is the DAW by Universal Audio. But that is more of a con for Universal Audio, not for the interface itself. But other than that, this is a great interface. It sounds amazing, and you get all the features that you have from the Audio Box 96 and all the features you have from the Scarlett 2i2. It is basically both of them put together. The both of those interfaces only have 2 channels. This one has 4. So technically it could be both of them put together. One of the key features for this interface is that it has a vintage preamp mode. You have all the bells and whistles that you would find in any tabletop entry-level interface, and this one is no exception. I don't really have any cons for it. Sounds great, does the job, and right now it's going to run you about $229. Those 3 interfaces I would highly recommend. Now, just like there's a huge gap in the price difference between them, there's also a huge quality difference in them as well, both on how they sound and also on the build quality. Now, the audio box is the cheapest one out of the bunch, so it's obviously the first one that's gonna go. But other than that, they can all last you a long time if you are taking care of your equipment, right? So I would highly recommend all 3 of them. Assuming you want to go with the best interface out of the bunch, you just spent over $200 out of your budget. So now you only have about $1,800 left to spend. Let's take a look at our monitoring system. All right, so for our monitoring system, I went ahead and bundled it up. That way you get everything that you would need for your monitoring system. You have a full range speaker set. You have headphones, both for you and your artist that you're gonna be recording, and a headphone amp to be able to listen to all headphones at the same time. Much like the interfaces, there's so many monitoring system that we can be looking at right now. When it comes to speakers, headphones that we use, there's so many options that we can be looking at. But again, I'm going to stick to what I have, so I'm going to recommend those instead. But don't feel like you have to stick with what I have. Any monitoring system that you want to get will do just fine. Remember, we have a total budget of $2,000, so we definitely want to make sure that we stay under that mark, having everything that we need to get started, right? So that's why I'm recommending the system that I have right now. It's been working great for me, so I don't see why it wouldn't work for you. All right, so for our monitoring system, I'll be looking at the KRK lineup. We have the 2 KRK Rocket 5s, and we have the KRK S8 subwoofer, and I threw in there 2 Audio-Technica ATH M20Xs, and I have the Behringer 4-channel micro amp headphone preamp in there. With that setup, you have your studio monitors plus a subwoofer, and you have 2 headphones, one for you and one for your artist. And you have a headphone amp that will allow you to take your one headphone out that comes with your interface and split that signal up to where you can plug in your headphones and your artist can plug in their headphones, and you can both be listening at different levels based on your preference. This system will run you about $880, and adding our interface into that is going to run you about $1,100. So far, we've spent $1,100, and we have a full range monitoring system and some headphones. All right, so we have about $900 left to spend. Let's see what we can get. Now it's time to look at our microphone, and much like our interface and our monitoring system, I'm going to stick with what I have. All right, so for this microphone, I'm going to recommend is the Blue Baby Battle microphone. I've had it for a couple years and I've been rocking with it, and it is a solid microphone. And at this point, just like we did for our monitoring system, I'm going to recommend that you bundle up again. So instead of getting your microphone and then having to get a mic stand, I would say bundle up wherever you can. Get a microphone that comes with a mic stand and also a cable. Looking at Sweetwater, I was able to find a bundle that runs for about $529. That comes with a microphone, mic stand, and a cable. Right, so that added on to what we've already spent, that put us at $1,639. Right now, we have about $400 to spend. What else do we need to complete our setup? We definitely need a table to set everything on. We need acoustic treatment to make sure our room sounds good, and we need a few accessories to make sure that everything runs smoothly. Let's see what we can get and see if our $400 is enough. With less than $400 left at this point on the video, I'm definitely going to recommend that you do some DIYs. For your table, I would not recommend that you get anything fancy. $100 or less on IKEA, you should be able to find a nice table to set your equipment on. And when it comes to the acoustic treatments, definitely you want to stick to DIY. I initially spent over $300 on acoustic treatment for my room, and it absolutely did nothing. After that, I decided to do it myself, and I spent about $120, and my room sounded completely different. It's like a complete 180 from super reverberant to pretty much dead. Yeah, definitely do your acoustic treatment yourself. I'd say set aside about $250 for your table and your acoustic treatment, and you should be good, especially if you're not recording in a big room. A small room like the size of my room that I'm in, about 8 by 11, you'll be fine with about $150 something for your acoustic treatment. And the last thing you're gonna need is cables to connect your system together. You don't want to cheap out on cables. Get the best cables that you can get. I'd say set about $100 aside for cables. You're definitely gonna need at least 5 cables. One to go from your headphone out to your headphone amp, and 4 cables for your monitoring system. 2 for your subs and 2 for your monitors. If you're a producer, then there's definitely some things that I would swap out. Starting with a microphone, you definitely don't need a microphone that is gonna run you about $500. So take out your microphone and the microphone stand and the cable for the microphone. What I would recommend instead is to get a MIDI controller. There's 2 MIDI controllers that you would need to get. One is like a keyboard MIDI controller, and the other is like a drum pad, like a groove box. I am a Machine user, so I'm definitely going to recommend sticking with the Machine. I have the Machine Micro, and that runs about $260. That would allow you to easily program your drums and even some melodies sometimes. The Machine Micro is a great tool, and it comes with Machine, which is a fully featured DAW, and it also comes with a lot of sound as well. And sticking to the Machine family, I would definitely recommend one of their MIDI keyboards. Pretty much anything on that line. But granted that our budget is $2,000 total for a whole studio setup, I would definitely recommend going with one of the cheaper options. That in combination with the Machine Micro would give you a great setup to start with, and you wouldn't need to upgrade your gear anytime soon. Definitely that would be the change that I would do if I was starting out in 2023 as a music producer versus an audio engineer. All right, so this is pretty much our studio setup, and it should bring us just around $2,000. Is there anything that you would have changed in the setup? Comment down below and let me know. All right, so thank you so much for making it this far to this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to drop a like and comment down below to show support to the channel. And if you're new, don't forget to hit on the subscribe button for more videos like this. Now, onto how you can help support the channel. For the past couple of videos, I've been talking about my Amazon affiliate link that is going to be down in the description. So if you're going to be making any purchase on Amazon, make sure to use that link. It's going to cost you nothing extra, but we will get a small percentage on that so we can reinvest back into the channel to make more videos for you guys. And also, your boy is now dropping his own music on Spotify, Apple Music, on all the platforms. Make sure to add us to your playlist to help our monthly listeners grow. That is ultimately the best way that you can help support this channel. It's about time that we started releasing our music. So make sure to add us to your playlist. And yeah, we appreciate it. Thank you so much for making it this far to this video. I'll see you guys next time in the next one.